Hello there, internet friends. Hello, Instagram friends. Hello, Facebook friends. Hello, YouTube friends. Hello, all the friends. It is Sarah here, founder of The Sisters Enchanted. And I am just coming here to tell y'all a thing or two about why we're talking about self-care so much here at The Sisters Enchanted. Appreciate you listening while I get sorted here because I'm looking at all the places. Looking at my computer and I'm looking at my phone. So that's why I'm like sideways on Instagram right now, not all the way there. What's all this self-care chatter about here at The Sisters Enchanted? Well, let me tell you, self-care is this term I like to say, I've been saying that it's a term that's thrown around like confetti at a birthday party or maybe a wedding or I don't know, wherever they throw around eco-friendly, biodegradable confetti, of course. If you're in holistic witchery, the eco-friendly, biodegradable confetti that we put in your certificates when you finish the class, that confetti. Self-care is that term is tossed around just like that freaking confetti. Everybody talks about it. People are like, you need to buy this self-care journal. You need to buy this self-care candle. You need to buy this self-care comfy, cozy cardigan and drink, I don't know, rosé all day, wine o'clock somewhere, right? I don't know. Self-care though, it's something that people talk about a lot. Like we need self-care and we do need self-care. That is very, very true. However, self-care should be built into your life in all ways. Your finances should care for you. Your home should care for you. Your job should be something you enjoy doing and care for you. This is all also self-care. The reason that we need to rosé all day or do like all these escape self-care things, which are also fun. And I'm not saying don't do them. Like I enjoy taking an afternoon to go get coffee and a pastry by myself. Like I like that too for self-care. That's part of my self-care. But my life is also self-care. So I don't have to escape my life and find self-care. It's part of my life. Why do we talk about this at the Sisters Enchanted, where we talk about intuition and tarot and astrology and all of these things? Well, we talk about it here because if you're not creating a life that feels like it cares for you, if that's not at the foundation of the candle that you light at the full moon, the bay leaf that you burn, the ritual that you do, the thing you're trying to manifest, whatever it is, if self-care and creating a life that is created to care for you, if that's not part of that, you're not likely to step into a life 5 years from now that looks like the vision you want for yourself. Understanding the parts of your life that don't feel like self-care right now and how can you make them self-care, that is where you start to make those big strides. So if you feel like every night you're so exhausted, now I know not everybody here is a parent, I fully recognize that, but I'm a business owner. I'm a homeschool mom of 2 kids who have lots of outside the box things about them. And I'm also helping care for my aging grandparents right now. So I have a very full, often like my sometimes frustrating, like, right, my days can feel very frustrating and like, what is going on here and how did this happen, how did I get here? So if I sit down at the end of the night and I'm like, oh, I must drink my wine and like watch Netflix for 2 hours for my self-care, sometimes you need that, like sometimes you need that break. But if I'm doing that 7 days a week, I'm actually not creating more care for myself. I also have digestive things. So me drinking wine, eating snacks, watching Netflix 2 hours a night is actually going to make me feel unwell. It's going to make me sicker. So that is not self-care. It feels like self-care in the moment, but it's leading to more trouble for me. So when we're thinking about self-care and what feels like it's not caring for us, we want to start there. And then that can be the root of whatever it is we're trying to call in, what the intentions we're setting at a new moon, the things we're releasing at the full moon to create space to manifest what we do want. We want to look at this holistically, like zoom way out and ask ourselves, what does not feel like care right now, and why doesn't it feel like I'm being supported or cared for in that area of life? Maybe you hate your job, but you have to work there because you have bills to pay, you have people to take care of, you need to put food on the table, roof over your head, so you can't just quit, right? But how can you make that job care be part of your self-care, something that supports you and you feel fulfilled by it? Do you need to ask for a raise? Do you need to ask for a different position? Do you need to start working on your resume and putting that, like, 9 months from now, your intention is to be at a job that fuels your creativity and your passions, and you feel like you're making a difference in the world? That is where the self-care piece comes in. And that's why we're so passionate about it and why we're talking about it so much here and everything that we're doing at the Sisters Enchanted, because so much of what we wish for with our intention setting, like, I just wish for this vacation, or I'm going to manifest this, like, weight loss, or like whatever random thing it is, it needs to be rooted in caring for yourself. Your life should be built around self-care for you. And that doesn't mean life is always easy. That's not what that means. That means that it's built in there for you so that when life gets hard, those supports are there. And then when life's been hard for 7 days in a row because pandemics and wars and aging parents and little kids, or whatever your thing is that's in your soup of hardness at the moment, then you take your Netflix binge break, right? Then you do your afternoon coffee and a whole cake for yourself, maybe. But that can't be your go-to self-care every day of the year, because that's not actually caring for yourself. That's not getting to the root of anything that's going on. It's not helping you get anywhere. Finances, the same thing. Self-care can look like finally going through your finances and opening all the bills that are sitting there, or reading a book about finance management, or how to ask for a raise, or how to write your resume so that you can ask for 25% pay increase or something like that. That's actually self-care, because in bringing in more money, you're going to be better able to take that weight off your shoulders. You're going to be able to put money in your retirement, pay off debt, whatever that is. So taking those steps to care for yourself first is then building in that self-care. And after you do the hard thing, then you eat the brownie, you take the bubble bath, you toss the confetti, whatever that looks like. That's why we are so crazy about talking about self-care here, because it really needs to be rooted into everything that you're doing. And what does it have to do with witchery and manifesting and magic or woo-woo things, or whatever you want to call it? Freaking everything. Because if you aren't caring for yourself and you don't feel cared for, there's just going to be, nothing's going to make you feel cared for. Nothing. Somebody could, you know, if you may have been there, if this has ever happened to you, that you already don't feel cared for, and then somebody gives you like a little comment, or maybe like hands you something, and you're just mad at them for no reason. You're just like, why would you give me that? Why would you say that? And they're like, well, it's just trying to help. And you're like, but that's not the help I want. Right? If you don't already feel cared for, nothing's going to make you feel cared for unless you take care of yourself first. And baking self-care into your manifesting, into your rituals, into your journaling, into your future visioning, and understanding what doesn't make me feel cared for right now. What doesn't make me feel cared for right now? And how can I change that? How can I change that? Not my partner, not my spouse, not my boss, not whoever. How can I change that? And that is where you start to see change in your life. It's caring for yourself first, but self-care on a deep level, speaking your truth, honoring your truth, your authenticity, like I said, your finances, getting rid of the clothing in your closet that does not fit you, or maybe you lost a ton of weight or something, but you don't want to buy new clothes, so you're just wearing the same old stuff that's fallen off of you. So the reverse on that end of that spectrum, like doing those things to care for yourself, to make you feel cared for, and you can go out in the world with more confidence, more self-assuredness, and actually start to bring the stuff into your life that you're journaling about, that you're making the vision boards about, that you're lighting the candles for. All of that, you need the foundation there of the self-care. So when you're setting an intention, we have a full moon coming up. So at the full moon, in a few days here, we're pretty much like, you could say we're like in that full moon energy now, easing in there. This is at a full moon, we're releasing and we're manifesting together. So when we release at a full moon, people, you'll see this all over social media, right? Release what no longer serves you. Well, you're releasing to make space for something specific. So if you're just releasing, here's a tangible example. Maybe you clean out your closet, like you literally release all these clothes, but then you just go buy a bunch of other stuff without intention. Like maybe you just go buy all these other clothes, and then 2 weeks later, you're like, I don't love them. I have nothing to wear, because we weren't intentional about what we're filling our space with. The same thing happens with us energetically. If we release like the cord to a past self thing that we, no longer serves us, or we release the guilt over a decision, or we forgive ourselves for something, we're releasing that heaviness. Well, what are you filling it with? Knowing what you're filling it with is really, really important. Otherwise, it's very easy to just fill it back up with the same stuff that was there already. So at the full moon, we're releasing in order to manifest, but specifically, what do you want to manifest? So thinking about self-care, if you're releasing the like, what's something that I do? I find the need to talk back to everything my husband says constantly. This is some shadow work here. So if you don't know me very well, you're getting an insight into my life right now. I cannot bite my tongue when it comes to my husband, and it's not my best quality, my best personality trait. I will own up to that. But if I say I was releasing that and I'm like, I'm going to release this about myself, I'm going to hear his truth. But why? What am I filling it with? To what end? Is it like, what about that doesn't make me feel supported? I don't feel good when I do that. I mean, in the moment, I feel like I got the upper hand, but 5 minutes later, I don't feel good. I don't feel like I'm setting a good example for my kids. I don't feel like I'm nurturing our relationship. So what about this would help me feel more supported? And helping me to feel more supported would, if I like supported him, right? That's going to help our whole family dynamic where my kids see people supporting each other. And that could have a big ripple effect there. So if I'm releasing that thing that I do, what am I going to fill it with? How is that going to support me in my self-care? Another thing, often I'll see people release at a full moon. They'll want to release like their guilt for taking time to themselves, or their guilt around not having like raised people who have adult children will hold on to guilt around like things they did when their kids were young or something. So releasing that guilt. But what are you trying to create then? To create what? What's going to help care for you in that situation? Is it going to be maybe you're going to fill it with and manifest some relational skills where you are going to manifest the ability to listen calmly to what others have to say. Because if you release that guilt, people might start sharing with you, right? And it might feel awkward to have to listen to what people actually have to say about things you feel guilty about. So when we're releasing, what are we manifesting, and how is that helping us with our self-care? Releasing bad habits to manifest what? To manifest new habits, to manifest the support in following through with a habit, because often we need support. So we release so we can manifest. And self-care, we got to take care of ourselves first. And it's really not just wine and chocolates and bubble baths, although that stuff is awesome. It is our relationships. It's how we talk to ourselves. It's how we view ourselves. It's how we spend our time. It's how confident we feel about managing our own finances, or making decisions without having to have somebody tell us it's okay to make a decision. Building all of that up within ourselves is self-care that will actually help you to manifest what you want, to cast a spell out there, a grand wish, and bring it into vision for yourself, if it's from this place of caring for yourself truly, and not on like a vanity level, where so much of what we see in terms of self-care is this vanity piece. So we've been talking about self-care a lot here, and we do have our self-care challenge starting on Monday. It is a free challenge. The link is in all the places where you would find links. And it's 21 days, but it's really the bits and pieces of each day are super short to look at, and we give away prizes every day. So you want to register for that. I just saw a comment, self-care is not impulsive. I am like the most impulsive person I know. But self-care, right? No, self-care. And I'm not sure who said it. It just says Facebook user on what I'm looking at. But yeah, self-care. So like often we do things for self-care in the moment, and then later we're like, oh, that was not care. That was not caring. That was not caring at all. But our free self-care challenge starts on Monday. We give away prizes to participants each day of the 21 days. We pick somebody who participates, and we'll give away a little prize. So you want to register for that. The last go of it, we had people make great changes in their life, share great strides with us, and just really looking at themselves and the people in their lives entirely different. So it's not about like just taking like, oh, go journal for 5 minutes. No, it's deeper than that. It's good stuff. And it is the kind of deep work that you won't see in a lot of spaces like this in the internet. So you want to check it out. We also have at 21dayselfcare.com our book, which will be released in 1 week, a little less than 1 week, I think on Tuesday next week. And that's an expanded version of the challenge. So it takes our challenge topic and it expands upon it, and comes with a bunch of free resources also. So you can register for the book, and when you pre-order it by the end of Monday, you have to fill out a form, but we'll give you free access to our new self-care course, which will come out next Monday. And if you buy 10 books, I know that's an ask, 10 books, but we are hosting an event on August 4th in Salem, Massachusetts. For 1 day, there's going to be meet and greet, a workshop, then we'll break for lunch, and then another workshop and some mix and mingle. And if you pre-order 10 books, then you are invited to join us in Salem, Mass on August 4th. And we're excited to put that together and get some people together for the first time in a couple of years. So what can you do with 10 bucks? Donate them to women in transition, moms, empty nesters, women changing careers in midlife, to women's groups, shelters, leave them in those little lending libraries. You can do so much. So if you want to come out to the East Coast and check out Salem, Mass, and want some familiar faces there, August 4th, get your 10 bucks and come hang with us. You just got to let us know and forward us your invoice, and we'll get you all the details. And the free challenge starts on Monday. So lots of self-care talk going on here, but that's because we see so many people email us and they'll be like, what's a spell I can do for like money, or to like get, or like in tarot readings. Oh my gosh, how many times in tarot reading has somebody asked, like, is my boyfriend going to propose to me? And we're like, do not ask that question. What I want you to ask is how, like, go into your self-care. Let's look at security. Let's look at confidence. Let's look at you as a whole and worthy person, whether or not your boyfriend asks you to marry him. Like, that is not what we're going to do here. And this all comes into that self-care. And if you care about yourself so much that you want to be married soon for whatever reason, then let's work on that. And how do you care your way out of that relationship if that person doesn't want to be in there? So we hear this in questions, we hear it in tarot readings, astrology questions that we get about why is this person this way? Let's look back at our own self-care and wonder, why do we need the validation of knowing why that person is that way? Let's look at ourselves and see how we can care ourselves through it, or look at what support we need to make the next best decision in our life and manifest that into being. So self-care, we got to just come into our own self-care here. And we're doing that with the book and the free challenge, which starts on Monday. So they're two different things. Free challenge, it's free. You can sign up for that. You want the expanded version, some extra video support, some printables, some resources, grab the book, support small business. It helps us so much. The free classes are absolutely free, but it does cost us actually minimum of $5 per person to deliver a free class. So it's really helpful to us supporting the book and getting our message out there to more people, and pre-ordering it and helping it pop up on Amazon where someone might find it and change their life too. So you can pre-order the book, but of course the free challenge, be there or be square, because it is free. And there's prizes every single day. And we want to help you along the way. All right, y'all. Whew, that was a spiel. That was a spiel and a half. I'm going to leave it at that. Oh, last note though, Ostara is coming up too this weekend. So we have the full moon and Ostara, and that is our spring season, our air element. It is the time of taking action, fertility, growing what you want to grow, taking action on it. And that is coming up in our most recent podcast episode and YouTube video. In blog posts, we shared ideas for Ostara, and we have a printable guide on there. You just click the button and it'll show up on your screen. Don't need to put in an email or anything. So the link for that, just look for our blog link wherever you're watching this, and check out, you can watch it on YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts. It's called Expedition to Soul is the podcast name. We're over on our blog, and you can check out the Ostara resources. So much goodness, so much goodness. Plant those seeds of intention to care for yourself with Ostara at the full moon. Release the patterns of not caring for oneself to make space for self-care. And we'll see you in the free challenge starting on Monday. All right. That is it for real. Now I got to end. I'm on Instagram and over here. So I'm going to try to end simultaneously to all the places. And I never know how to end on Instagram. Live. Is anybody? I'm not that elderly and I cannot end a live stream on Instagram. All right, I'm going to end it over here. Goodbye, Facebook and YouTube. Have a great day.